But, there's a big but. This pattern was Hey guys, my name is Kaylin. This is everything I made in the first half of 2026. There's a little bit winter sewing, but most of them are what I sewed in the spring. So let's get started. There are quite a few projects to share, so I'm going through them in a chronological order roughly. There are multiple patterns I made more than once. And I also launched my third pattern in total and the first pattern for 2026. And I made 12 garments with that. So I'm going to leave that to the end just to make sure that this video is not all about that I get to share some other projects I've made. This is the first ever projects I've made in 2026. I finished it in the beginning of January. So this is something I started during the Christmas time. But then because we have families coming over and my sewing room turned into a guest room, but then I officially finished it in the first week of January. This is for my daughter. And the fabric is a double gauze, super soft, super cute, and the batting I use is a cotton batting I got from Joanne. And because it's cotton batting, after wash it shrink quite a bit and also has this really crinkly texture, so it's not as big as it used to be but still fits my daughter. And I do like the crinkly design. I feel like it looks very cozy and feels like a vintage garment. Vest is reversible, so we have like those snap buttons and you can like snap it the other way as well. And the only difference is that on this side there's a pocket, and on the inside there's only the top stitching. So if you want to make it like truly reversible, I may just hand sew the pockets on so it doesn't show on the other side. I have considered turning this one into a pattern. Otherwise, my daughter wears it a lot. I absolutely love it, and I'm probably gonna make a lot more of this. Then I made 2 sailor blouses, which is going to be my new sewing pattern. So fun fact, I started developing them last summer at the same time as Mandarina top. Then I started thinking about how to make a drop shoulder cute and flattering on the body. So I get carried away by Narina, and I was like, okay, then maybe I'll just release Narina first. Then comes to 2026, I was developing the sailor blouse at the same time as my Melodie pattern, and I was iterating on the Melodie so much, so I decided to just finish the Melodie blouse and then come back to this pattern, which doesn't mean I don't like this pattern because I love this design so much and I cannot wait to bring to life and really finish this pattern. I'm thinking about turning it into a dress. I'm just going to experiment a few different silhouettes and just see which one I like the most before turning this into a blouse plus dress pattern. So for this one, I have made a toile before to test the fit, and then this is the first one I made with fashion fabric. I really like this fabric. It's a Japanese seersucker, but I feel like the cut is a little flat, and I personally prefer something more contouring around the upper bust area. So then I had my next sample, which adds a side darts. This one contours the upper bust area really nicely and has a subtle swing out silhouette, which I really love. So once I had this one made, I feel like it's really close to final. I like the fit of it. I may just make some small tweaks and then turn that into a dress pattern. So then you can make a blouse or dress with the same pattern, which is always something I like. If you have any preference or sailor dress designs you like, feel free to send it my way. You can leave a comment below or just send me a DM on IG. My next make is this Playdate blouse pattern by Matchy Matchy Sewing Club, and it's such an adorable blouse pattern. I made it during their pattern testing, which they call a pattern preview. I was very fortunate to be selected, and I used this cotton twill that's very lightweight and soft. I think when I bought the fabric, it was intended to be a lining, but then when I got selected by the pattern testing, I just feel like this fabric is perfect for this blouse, which it is. I wear it quite a bit. I like this dramatic big collar and the ruffles here. I also like the ruffle hem over here and the sleeves. So yeah, I'm thinking about making another one. Next, I want to share the 3 Pomona pants I made. In my 2025 mix video, I already featured multiple Pomona pants I've made. And this year, so far, I've made 3 more. I have this light blue stretchy twill fabric made in white leg. Because the color feels very denim, so it kind of gives me a jean vibe. These days, I'm looking for comfort, so I don't wear jeans as much, but I like how this one can match with so many things and just like feels like a very comfortable pair of jeans. Then I have this one, which is kind of like a sagey green color. So I bought this one online. The picture doesn't look exactly like the actual fabric I received, but then once I made into pants, I actually really like the color. I think it's like a sagey green muted color, which is very cute and summery. This one is also white like pants, and this is the back. This is the 3rd Pomona pants I made. This is a tapered leg, and I like to like fold it up on the hem. It's kind of like a khaki twill. This one doesn't have any stretch. In my experience, if I were to make the tapered leg version of Pomona pants again, I'll probably choose some fabric that's a little softer, but I still wear it a lot. I definitely think I need some khaki color pants. It's just super practical. So for both the green and khaki pants, I had add fabric labels on the back elastic portion, but unfortunately they are just not comfortable, so I had to remove them and look into other label options. I definitely would like to add personality to my me-made garments, but finding the perfect label that's so comfy is not the easiest thing ever. So if you have any recommendations, let me know. But I'm thinking that in the future, I may just add a little handmade label over here next to the pocket, so then it doesn't scratch my skin and I can still decorate somehow to show my personality. Speaking of pants, this is another pair of pants I made. This is the Alba pants by Tazuki fabric. This pattern I think is released this year. What I love about this pattern is that it has the zip fly on the front with buttons, curved pockets, and then on the back is elastic. I am someone who wants my pants to look polished and professional and chic, but I don't want the real pants because it can be very tight on my tummy. There's a triangle-shaped yoke here with the elastic connected to it, and then I made 2 pockets. I think the pattern called for 1 pocket, but I read the instruction wrong, so I cut 2 pockets. So I decided to just install both pockets because it doesn't hurt to have more pockets. So I think this pants is really cute. Absolutely love this pocket design. But, there's a big but. This pattern was hand drawn and scanned onto the computer. So the pattern pieces are not layered and also not digitized. So if you're doing print at home or A0 where you don't mind that the pieces are not layered, I think this is a great pattern to get. But if you use a projector like me, this will be very difficult because it all requires a lot of hurdles to kind of like jump through. What I had to do to make it work for my projector is I manually trace all the pattern pieces of my size with my computer, and then I convert that into a PDF and then project it with that PDF. So if I knew this pattern was not digitized, would I still buy it? I'm not sure. But now I already bought this pattern, I digitized it myself, so the pattern is ready to go. I'll probably make it again. This fabric is a brown linen with a little bit stretch. So before making this one, I actually made the 12, and the 12 turned out to be pretty tight for my body. So then I end up sizing up a size. And so this one is a bigger size than my regular measurement. But because the brown linen is a little stretchy, so it does stretch over time as I'm wearing it, it becomes a little more boxy than I liked. But I think for my next make, if I'm choosing a fabric that's not stretchy, I'll still use this size, which is 1 size larger than my regular size. But yeah, overall, I still think it's a very cute pattern, and I'm planning to make a wider version of this pants. Next, I made this closet basic item, which is a long sleeve knit t-shirt. I do wear this quite a lot once I made it. It's so practical and it's also easy for layer. I just feel like we all need some basic pieces to layer with other garments. So yeah, super practical. This is made from a knit block. I was following some specific pattern drafting method for knit. I just think that the upper bust area is a little short. So for my next iteration, I'll probably make it longer and it's gonna be more comfortable. Definitely going to make more of this. It's such a versatile piece to style with my pinafore, my dress and jackets. So yeah. Okay, so these are my Melodie, and so is this one. I definitely made a lot to develop the Melodie pattern, but in the best possible way, because I end up with many beautiful blouse and dress to wear, and I really feel like I figure out the best fit, best construction for this pattern, so no regrets at all. So once I finished recording and taking photos of all these makes, I brought all my Melodies to my closet downstairs because I like to keep them in my sewing room while developing these patterns so I can try them on really quickly and just make any fit adjustment or decisions on the pattern. But then once I take all the photos and recording it and launch the pattern, I move them downstairs to my closet, and there are just no hangers available for them because there are just so many. So then I look at my husband's side of the closet and trying to steal a few of his hangers. But unfortunately, there's no hangers available. So yeah, it was a whole thing of like shifting things around, downsizing certain garments I have so that I can have hangers for every single Melodie I made. Because I have a dedicated video sharing all the Melodies I've made, I'm just gonna go through it quickly. If you're interested in this pattern, I'll have the pattern introduction video linked above and below, and I'll also link the video where I walk through each one of the Melodies I made in details, so check that out if you're interested. This one is the first fashion fabric of the Melodie blouse. The fabric is a Japanese seersucker I bought in Tokyo. Another Melodie blouse with short sleeves. The fabric is a cotton shirting. I finished the neck ruffle and sleeve hem with a contrasting thread with my machine scallop stitches. I have a tutorial for this one coming soon, so stay tuned for that. Another Melodie View A with long sleeve. The fabric is a seersucker. This is a View A of Melodie with short sleeves. The fabric I think is a type of cotton voile with pretty nice strip. This is a Melodie dress, which is View B. I finished the neck ruffle and the sleeves with scallop stitches as well, and changed the skirt into 3 tiers. The fabric is a lightweight cotton. This is the first Melodie dress I made. The fabric is a dark floral in cotton. This is a Melodie dress hack, so I skipped the ruffle and finished the neckline with double folded bias tape. I also used a long sleeve pattern and changed it into short sleeves. The fabric is a cotton linen blend, medium weight, and the print is really interesting because it reminds me of Indian block print, but it is not. This is a Melodie dress I made to record the sewing tutorial. The fabric is a medium weight cotton shirting and it's also similar to poplin. This is a Melodie shift dress hack, so I turned the blouse into a shift dress. I also skipped the ruffle and finished the neckline with a drawstring. This is a View C of the Melodie blouse, so it's sleeveless. And the fabric is kind of like a lightweight voile with embroidered details on the selvage. This one is another View A of Melodie blouse, but long sleeve. The fabric is a white cotton shirting that's kind of lightweight. And this one is another Melodie blouse. The fabric is some sort of cotton voile that's a little bit sheer, but perfectly fine wearing as a blouse. And it has these beautiful 3D embroidered flowers and leaves, and also scallop details. I think it's absolutely lovely. So that is all the Melodies I've made. Okay, so my next project is my latest project, which I just finished in June. This is the Along the Line quilt pattern by DIY Work Cry. I was very fortunate to be selected as a part of the tester group, and this is my first ever quilt top. So this is a pretty beginner-friendly quilt design. I'm a total beginner and I was able to finish it without any problem. I also like the design a lot. It's pretty modern and probably simpler than a lot of other quilt patterns out there. But something I didn't realize is how much work quilting is, because I think I make garments a lot. I kind of expect that amount of work, but quilting is a whole new level. There's just so much machine stitching. Especially I just spent over $350 getting my machine service. There was a lot of stitching, which make me really respect people who quilt. Like now I really understand how much work it goes into each quilt. And I think that quilters are probably one of the most hardworking, patient people ever. So full respect for that. For me, I don't think I'm gonna be a quilter just because I don't have enough patience. But in the future, I may try quilt a bit more. Because last year I bought another quilt pattern, which is this chicken quilt that looks super cute. But I wasn't going to make the whole quilt. I'm just thinking about making a couple samplers and hanging it on the wall in my daughter's room. I think that would be really adorable. So that's all the project I've done in the first half of 2026. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll try to link all the patterns in the description if you want to check out any of the patterns I mentioned. Thanks for watching today. I'll see you next time. Bye!